Please welcome our next presenter, Carrie Alvarado from Autism Community Network.
Who in this room is impacted by autism? Who has heard these words? He wouldn't let me hold him. She always looked away. I thought there was something wrong with me. He just kind of disappeared. Did you know that a baby's brain develops 700 to 1,000 new brain cell connections a second in the first year of life? These earliest connections are the product of back and forth interactions that babies and their parents engage in. These early interactions actually shape the structure of babies' brains. When autism enters the scene, often as early as 6 to 12 months, parents notice, and the quality of these interactions change. Imagine concerned parents noticing differences and bringing their baby to their pediatrician, describing a baby who doesn't make eye contact, doesn't cuddle, doesn't respond to voices. Imagine these parents being told, let's just wait and see. This is a huge problem. Here's why. At around the age of 4 years old, the most critical window of brain development is closing. But the average age for diagnosis of autism is around 4.5 years of age. This means that many of our children are not even being diagnosed before this window of time is closing. This is almost 4 years of missed therapy. Therapy as early as 6 months of age has been shown to decrease the severity of autism symptoms and to enhance those early social-emotional interactions that build babies' brains. These are the words that brought me to the stage tonight. If only I had known sooner. Why didn't anybody listen? Well, now your community is listening. Our new program, the Earliest Connections Clinic at Autism Community Network, will support infants and toddlers aged 6 to 30 months in receiving the earliest diagnosis possible. What is the value of a child's potential? The seed money we need for our program is $54,000. This would afford 50 of our youngest children access to early diagnosis and therapy. Once our cutting-edge diagnostic protocol is as efficient as possible, we will be poised to train some of the 386 unique referring medical specialists in using it. If a mere 20% of these medical practices committed to our training at around $300 per trainee, this could generate an additional $23,000 of additional revenue that we could invest into more therapy. More importantly, over 250 families' lives would be changed by having access to early diagnosis with their own doctors. For an additional $78,000 investment, we could triple the impact of this program in-house. High-risk toddlers and infants are already accumulating on our wait list. With additional staff, we could evaluate 3 of these children a week instead of just 1. Your support will change the lives of children. It will help a family experience less stress and anxiety and more ability to stay active members of our community. It will help a school by supporting children who are better able to learn. Our entire community benefits. Children with access to timely diagnosis have a better chance at job placement, enhanced mental health, and independence as they grow up. I'll leave you tonight with the words of families who have accessed early support. Imagine how many more of these children your generosity could help. He's letting us into his world. He said, "Mama." She was invited to a birthday party. We are so much more hopeful for his future. Thank you.
Carrie, I have a question. First and foremost, thank you for your presentation. Very well done, and thank you for what you're doing. Very impactful.
Thank you.
My question for you is, how are the children identified and or prioritized for your program?
Great question. So we know that siblings of children with autism have an almost 20% chance of a higher risk of developing autism themselves. So first and foremost, we would be looking at siblings, subsequent siblings. Children who have been born prematurely, so usually anywhere in the 27 to 28 week gestation range, they are at a 15% higher risk of having an autism outcome. So those high-risk elements of our community, we would definitely be trying to go out and reach and build connections with initially. And then we would definitely be educating the community at large about their early signs and really working a lot with different medical practices, nurse practitioners, the people who are spending these times in these first appointments with these kiddos, and helping them learn to notice those really early markers that research is really starting to show us are more prevalent and more noticeable if we're looking for them. Thank you.
Is the request to work directly with the children or to also do the trainings of the people that could work with the children?
Well, the piece that's really cool about this, I think, is that we can do them in tandem. So I am running this program in addition to my developmental behavioral pediatrician colleague, Patricia Delangel. And what we would be doing is we'd be inviting participants from the community to come and kind of follow us, watch us, kind of intern with us for maybe 4 or 5 cases so that they would become comfortable with the measures that we're using to evaluate these children and then be able to take that measure back to their own practice and use it in their own clinic. That would be the idea. So yes, we could kind of cover both.
So you said you guys are 4 years old. Have you picked up your methods from another model, or is this an original thing that you guys are putting together?
Our Autism Community Network has been open this is our 10th year in existence. So we have been evaluating children who are over the age of 2+ for many, many years. We've got that down. But what the newer research is really showing is that we can engage with these children earlier and notice these differences a lot earlier on in their developmental trajectory. We now know there are motor differences and sensory differences and social communicative differences that we can pick up on earlier. We have measures that are new. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to really stay at the cutting edge of what science is showing us we're able to do and be able to offer that to our community. You know, we serve children, 76% of the families we serve are Medicaid families. We know that we're dealing with nature here. You know, nature has definitely, there are different neurophysiological differences for children with autism, but the nurture component, especially for our children who are maybe at a different socioeconomic level, that element can have so much more influence. So we're trying to get in there with the parents, really coach the parents, empower the parents very early on in this journey that they're engaging on with their child so that we can make the biggest impact possible for the whole family system.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it
you.
very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.